The sky over the junk fields of Jareth was a cold, metallic gray, always churning with ash and pollution, never quite deciding whether to rain or thunder. The vast wasteland stretched as far as the eye could see, littered with twisted scrap heaps, forgotten machines, and rusting cargo pods from a dozen off-world wars. It was not a place for children, or mothers, or hope. But that was where Commander Elias Thorne heard the voice. He had come to the outskirts of Sector K9 in search of power cores rumored to be left behind after the Varnak retreat. His recon drone had pinged a signal near an old Terran supply container. The area was quiet, too quiet. He should have kept walking. He knew the rules of salvage law and the risks of picking up strays. But then came the cry. "Please take me and Mama, human." A child's voice.
Hi. Cracked.
Raw with desperation. Elias turned sharply, pulse tightening, hand instinctively reaching for the blaster holstered at his hip. His eyes scanned the crumbled wreckage until he saw her. A girl, no more than 7, stood in front of a rusted-out cargo container with glowing red light spilling from its interior. Her skin was pale blue and mottled with grime, her eyes too large for her face, luminous and filled with fear. Her dress was made of stitched rags, her hair knotted into a messy bun. Elias crouched, lowering his weapon. "You speak Terran?" She nodded, lip trembling. "Mama taught me, in case someone good came." Behind her, a figure moved, slow, limping. The mother. She emerged from the container, clutching her side, her breathing shallow. Her arm was wrapped in a piece of torn tarp, soaked through with dark blood. Her eyes, though tired, burned with the same eerie glow. "Who are you?" Elias asked, voice even. "I am Luma. Mama's name is Vera. Please don't leave us." Everyone else did. Elias stood silent for a moment, heart pounding louder than the distant drone of scrap haulers. Protocol said he should leave. Alien refugees were dangerous, unregistered and unprocessed. But something about the way the girl stood protectively in front of her mother, defiant and trembling, told him this wasn't just another cast-off. He looked into Vera's eyes. "You injured?" She nodded.
Shot.
2 days ago. Raiders. He took a slow breath, then unclipped the medkit from his belt. "I can help, but I have questions. And if you lie, we're done." In the hours that followed, Elias treated Vera's wound in the back of his rover, his tools sterilized and hands steady. The girl, Luma, stayed close, her fingers curled around a stuffed creature made from twisted wire and cloth. "Where's your people?" Elias asked while stitching the wound. "Gone," Vera said softly. "Hunted. The Syndicate wants the last of us off-world. We hid until they found our trail again. I told Luma to stay silent, but I cried," Luma whispered, "because Mama wasn't waking up." Elias paused. "You saved her life, little one." She blinked at him, unsure how to respond. Vera's breathing was shallow. "We're not worth the trouble, human. But thank you anyway." Elias looked out at the sky beyond the rover's viewport. He had survived 3 planetary campaigns, seen cities turn to glass, and watched men sell out their own blood for scraps. But this girl, this alien child with tear-streaked cheeks and a voice still clinging to hope, had stopped him cold. "I have space," he said quietly. "But I'm not going to lie, it's dangerous. My next mission's off-world. Smugglers, maybe worse." Luma leaned in, eyes bright. "We're not afraid. We just want a place." Elias nodded. Then he made the call that changed everything. 2 nights later, his ship, the Firebrand, lifted off from the junk fields. The Syndicate had eyes on the scrapyards, and the trio barely made it past the first check zone. Vera, pale from fever, slept in the medbay while Luma sat co-pilot beside Elias, staring in awe at the streaking stars. "You've never left the surface?" he asked. "Only in stories. Mama said the sky would always belong to others." "Not anymore," Elias replied. Their bond formed fast. Luma was sharp, observant. Within days, she was helping reroute damaged fuses and translating coded alien runes Elias had struggled with for months. He found her curiosity refreshing, a mind untainted by fear or cynicism. And Vera, slowly recovering, revealed more. Their species, the Elverin, were healers, empaths. Their blood held neural resonance properties, which made them targets during the Genophage War. Most had been wiped out. Vera and Luma were among the last. And though Vera could no longer fight, her presence brought an uncanny calm aboard the Firebrand, a soothing hum that wrapped around the crew's tension like silk. For the first time in years, Elias felt something more than survival. He felt purpose. Trouble found them in the Canther Belt. The Firebrand was ambushed by raider ships, syndicate tags, armed to the teeth. Someone had tracked the Elverin signal. Vera's presence, even shielded, had given them away. Elias turned to Luma. "You hide. Don't come out. No matter what." She shook her head. "I want to fight. You're a kid. I'm Elverin. We protect what protects us." The firefight raged in the void. Elias and his crew held the line, but the hull took damage. Sparks flew. Gravity blinked in and out. Through the smoke, Elias heard a voice, not screaming, not scared, but singing. "Luma." Her voice carried through the ship's comms, low, haunting, and filled with strange resonance. The raiders hesitated. One by one, their targeting systems scrambled. Elias watched as their flagship powered down mid-charge, floating dead in space. "EMP?" his gunner asked. "No," Elias said. That was her. Vera, pale and swaying in the medbay, smiled faintly. "She's stronger than I ever was. The galaxy is not kind to miracles." Within weeks, word spread. Whispers of a child who could bend circuits and calm engines with her breath. Of a girl born of extinction who now flew under a Terran banner. Bounties were placed. But so were offers. Refugee colonies. Secret enclaves. Even diplomats. They all wanted her. Elias stood in the decision room of Outpost Valen, flanked by Alliance officers. "She's not a weapon," he told them. "She's a child." One admiral leaned forward. "A child who could end wars." "That's not your call." "No," the admiral replied, "but it's hers." Luma chose the stars. She stayed aboard the Firebrand, not because it was safe, but because it was home. With her voice and Vera's touch, they began to heal places ravaged by war. They restored ships once written off as junk. They calmed riots. They turned Elias's vessel into something more than metal and fuel. A sanctuary. One evening, as they floated above a world of green oceans and burning sunsets, Luma sat beside Elias on the observation deck. "Do you regret hearing me?" she asked quietly. He turned to her, eyes tired but soft. "That voice saved me." She smiled. "You saved us." "No," he replied. "You gave me something to fight for." She looked down. "Mama says I'm a beacon." "I don't know what that means." Elias placed a hand on her shoulder. "It means wherever you go, the darkness runs out of places to hide." In the end, the Firebrand became legend. Not for its battles, not for its captain, but for the girl who cried from the junkyard and was heard. For the one who reminded the galaxy that sometimes the smallest voice carries the greatest weight, and that hope, fragile, blue-skinned, and barefoot, could still find a place in the stars.